Good morning. I forgot that one. Oh, thank you. I need to start baking though, I guess. Yeah. I should get my boards wet, and I should stir my pot. Sorry for cutting the concert short. I'm making bagels. I like your name, Hanky Panky. That's an old term. You don't hear people say hanky panky much very often. Hanky panky. No. Hope it smells good. I took a shower today, so it should be smelling fresh in here today. It should smell just like bagels in here. No other smells. Oh my god. That definitely wasn't how that song goes. Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. I love your name. Have a great, wonderful, excellent day. If you're going to bed, I hope you have a great sleep. Oh, you too. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Merry Xmas if you're an atheist or whatever. Gotta be respectful to the atheists out there, the non-believers. Of which I am one of them. I am a non-believer. I'll recite a poem for you, like. This one's Pied Piper of Hamelin. Hamelin town's in Brunswick, my famous Hanover city. The river Weser, deep and wide, washes its wall on the southern side. A pleasanter spot you've never spied. When begins my ditty, almost 500 years ago. To see the townsfolk suffer so from vermin was a pity. Rats, they fought the dogs and killed the cats, and bit the babies in the cradles, and ate the cheeses from the vats, and licked the soup from the cooks' old ladles. Split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nests in the men's Sunday hats, and even spoiled the women's chats by drowning out their speaking with shrieking and squeaking in 50 different sharps and flats. Alas, the people in a body to the town hall came flocking. "'Tis clear," cried they, "our mayor's a naughty. And as for our corporation, shocking. Think we buy gowns lined with ermine for dolts who can't or won't determine what's best to rid us of our vermin. You hope because you're old and obese to find in the furry civic robes ease. Rouse up, sirs, give your brains a racking to find the remedy we are lacking, or sure as fate will send you packing." At this, the mayor and corporation quaked with a mighty consternation. Now are they sat in council. At length the mayor broke silence, For a guilder I'd my ermine gown sell. I wish I were a mile hence. It's easy to bid one rack one's brain. I'm sure my poor head aches again. I scratch it so, but all in vain. Oh, for a trap, a trap, a trap. Just he said this, what should hap? At the chamber door but a gentle tap. Bless us, cried the mayor, what's that? With the corporation as he sat, looking little through wondrous fat. Nor brighter were his eyes, nor moister than a too long opened oyster. Save when at noon his paunch grew mutinous, for a plate of turtle green and glutinous. Only a scraping of shoes on a mat. Anything like the sound of a rat makes my heart go pit-a-pat. Come in, cried the mayor, looking bigger, and in did come the strangest figure. His long queer coat from heel to head was half yellow and half red, and he himself was tall and thin, with sharp blue eyes, each like a pin, and light loose hair and swarthy skin, nor tuft of hair on cheek, nor beard on chin. But lips or smile went out and in, there was no guessing his kith or kin, and nobody could enough admire this tall man in his quaint attire. Quoth one, it's as my great-grandsire, starting up with a trump of green stone, had walked his way from his painted tombstone. He advanced towards the council table. Please, your honor, said he, I am able, by means of secret charm to draw all the creatures living beneath the sun, to crawl or swim or fly or run after me so as you never saw. And I chiefly use my charm on creatures that do people harm, mole and toad and newt and viper. And people call me the Pied Piper. And here they notice round his neck a scarf of red and yellow stripe to match with his coat of self-same check. And that scarf's end hung a pipe. And his fingers they noticed were ever straying, as if impatient to be playing upon this pipe, as low it dangled over his vesture so old-fangled. Yes, said he, Pied Piper as I am, in Tartary I fled to Cam, last June from his huge swarms of gnats. I eased in Asia the Nizam, of a monstrous brood of vampire bats. And as for what your brain bewilders, if I rid your town of rats, will you give me 1,000 guilders? 50,000 was the exclamation of an astonished mayor and corporation. Into the street to Piper's steps, smiling first a little smile, as if he knew what magic slept in his quiet pipe the while. Like a musical adept to blow his pipe, his lips he wrinkled, and green and blue his sharp eyes twinkled, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. And ere 3 shrill notes the pipe uttered, you heard as if an army muttered. The muttering grew to a grumbling, the grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling, and out of the houses came the rats tumbling. Great rats, small rats, lean rats, brawny rats, brown rats, black rats, gray rats, tawny rats, brave old potters, gay young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cocking tails and pricking whiskers, families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, followed the Pied Piper before their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, wherein all plunged and perished, save one who stout as Julius Caesar, swam across and lived to carry, as he the manuscript he cherished, to rat land home his commentary. Which was, at first shrill notes of the pipe, I heard a sound as the scraping tripe, and putting apples wondrous ripe into the cider presses bright, and moving away of pickle tub boards, and leaving a jar of conserve gubbers, and drawing the corks of train oil flasks, and breaking the nips of butter casks. And it seemed as if a voice, sweeter far than by bark or by song and tree, called out, "O rats, rejoice! The world is growing too vast for a saltery. So munch on, crunch on, take your nunch on, breakfast, supper, dinner, lunch on, and just a bulky sugar punch on, already stayed like a great sun shone, gracious scarce an inch before me, just methought it said come bore me, I found the Weser rolling over me. You should have heard the Hamlin people ring the bells, they rock the steeple. Go, cried the mayor, and get long poles, poke the nets and block up the holes, consult with carpenters and builders, and leave in our town not even a trace of the rats. When suddenly up the face of the piper perked in the marketplace, the first, if you please, my 1,000 guilders. 1,000 guilders? The mayor looked blue, so did the corporation too, for council dinners made rare havoc with Claret, Moselle, Vin, de Gras, Hawk, and half the money would replenish their seller's biggest butter Brenish, to pay this sum to a wondering fellow, with gypsy coat of red and yellow. Besides, quoth the mayor with a knowing wink, our business was done at the river's brink. We saw with our eyes a vermin sink. What's dead can't come to life, I think. So, friend, we're not folks to shrink from our duty of giving you something to drink, and a matter of money to put in your poke. But as for the guilders, what we spoke of them, as you well know, wasn't joke. Besides, the losses have made us thrifty. 1,000 guilders, come, take 50. The piper's face fell, he cried, no trifling, I can't wait beside. I promise to visit by dinner time Baghdad, except the prime, the head cook's potage. All he's rich in, for having left in the Caleb's kitchen, of a nest of scorpions, no survivor. With him I prove no bargain driver. With you don't think I'll bait a stiver. Folks who put me in a passion, they find me pipe after another fashion. How, cried the mayor, do you think I brook, being worse treated than a cook, insulted by a rival, with idle pipe and vesture piebald? Threaten us, fellow, do your worst, blow your pipe there till you burst. Once more he stepped into the street, and to his lips again laid his long pipe, a smooth straight cane. And there he blew 3 notes, such sweet soft notes as if musicians cunning never gave the enraptured air. There was a rustling, it seemed like a bustling, the very crowds justling and pitching and hustling. Small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping, little tongues chattering, and like foals in the farmer and barley is scattering. Oh, came the children running, all the little boys and girls, with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping right merrily after the wonderful music with shouting and laughter. The mayor was dumb, and the council stood, as if they're changed in the blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, to the children merrily skipping by. Could only follow with an eye that joyous crowd at the piper's back, and how the mayor was on the rack, and the wretched council's bosoms beat, as the piper turned from the high street, to where the western rolled its waters, right in the wake of their sons and daughters. Our return from south to west, and to Coppenburg Hill the steps addressed, and after him the children pressed. Great was the joy in every breast. He never crossed the mighty top, his force let the piping drop, and we shall see our children stop. When lo, they reached the mountainside, a wondrous portal opened wide, as if a cavern was suddenly hollowed. The piper advanced, and the children followed. When all were in to the very last, the door in the mountainside shut fast. Did I say all? No, one was lame, and could not dance the whole of the way. And then after years, if you blame the sadness, you used to say, as dull in our town since my playmates left, I can't forget that I'm bereft of all the pleasant sights they see, which the piper also promised me. For he led us, he said, to a joyous land, joining the town in jest at hand, where waters gushed and fruit trees grew, and flowers before its fairer view, and everything was strange and new. The sparrow was bright a peacock here, and her dogs outran our fellow deer, and honeybees had lost their stings, and horses were born with eagle's wings. And just as I became assured, my lame foot was speedily cured. The music stopped, and I stood still, and found myself outside the hill, left behind against my will, to go now living as before, and never hear of that country more. Alas, alas, for Hamelin, there came to many a burgher's pate a text which says that heaven's gate opes the rich at as easy rate as a needle's eye takes a camel in. The mayor sent east, west, north, and south to offer the piper by word of mouth, where would men's love to find him, silver and gold to his heart's content, if only he'd return the way he went, and bring the children behind him. But when they saw 'twas lost endeavor, the piper dancing were gone forever, he made a decree that lawyers never should think their records dated duly, if after the day of the month and year, these words do not as well appear. And so long after what happened here, on the 22nd of July, 1376, in the better remembered fix, the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Pied Piper Street, where anyone playing pipe or tabor was sure for his future lose his neighbor. Nor suffered they hostelry or tavern, shocked with words the street so solemn. And opposite the place of the cavern, they wrote the story on a column, and on great church window painted, saying to make the world acquainted, how their children were stolen away, and there it stands this very day. And I must not admit to say, in Transylvania there is a tribe of alien people who ascribe the way in dress, which their neighbors lay such stress, to their fathers and mothers having risen out of some subterranean prison, into which they were Japan, a long time ago in a mighty band, out of Hamlin towns in Brunswick land, but how or why they don't understand. So, Lily, let me and you be wipers, of scores out with all men, especially pipers. And if they should pipe us free from rats for mice, if we promise not, let us keep our promise. I can't whistle that high. Hello, viewer. How are you today? Chat me up. Chat me up, chat. There's only one of you. Give me something to talk about. He left. You can't coerce chat to do anything. They'll abandon you if you ask them to do anything you want them to do. There once was a young man named Roland Pide who played the recorder when he wasn't baking bagels. One day he was walking through a park playing his recorder to rest a while from all his baking, when suddenly he spied a corpse lying on the ground beneath a swarm of flies. He put down his recorder, walked over to the corpse, shooed the flies away, and covered the dead man with stones. Returning to his oven later that day, he found that his oven blade had gone on by itself and already baked half the bagels he needed. From that day on, Roland Pide was the happiest baker alive. He'd bake until he was tired, then he'd pull his recorder out of his pocket while his oven blade went on by itself. But Roland Pide lived in a town whose mayor did not admire his skill, was jealous of his fame. So the mayor devised a plan to rid the town of Roland. In the beginning, he said that Roland was a good worker, but lazy. Next, he said that Roland baked a whole lot, but badly. Then he accused Roland of being a sorcerer. The people turned on him. Therefore, Roland Pide took his recorder and left his home behind. When Roland Pide came to a neighboring town, he went to all the business owners, but none of them would give him any work. Finally, he met an old busker and asked him for work to keep body and mind together. "Come along with me," said the old man, "and we will share alms." So Roland Pide, the old man, started going around and singing, "Baker, why do you bear those silent things? Baker, how did you forget? Stand where your feet are. Baker, no woman loves your wealth, although it is golden and good for her health. Baker, you are too dirty for a lover to wish to preen. Your limbs are the knots and cords of an old-fashioned machine. Baker, line the rings and bash the boards. You don't need their applause for a thing that is yours. You are a baker and are what you are, not by a miracle, but by the work of your arms. Baker, be who you are." Everybody gave alms to the old man, but to Roland they said, "What does a young man like you out begging? Why don't you work for a living?" "Nobody will hire me," replied Roland Pide. "That's what you say. There's a king with so many hungry soldiers that he'll pay good wages to anyone willing to feed them." So Roland Pide went to the king's kitchen and took the old man whose alms he'd been sharing. The oven had never been used by anyone. Roland mixed the dough, then he rolled it into rings, then he boiled them, dressed them with seeds, and baked them until they're golden brown. Then he tossed them into a crate to cool down. Whenever Roland wearied of baking, he'd play his recorder, and once he was weary of playing his recorder, he'd sing, "Baker, why do you bear those silent things? Baker, how did you forget? Stand where your feet are. Baker, no woman loves your wealth, although it is golden and good for her health. Baker, you are too dirty for a lover to wish to preen. Your limbs are the knots and cords of an old-fashioned machine. Baker, line the rings and bash the boards. You don't need their applause for a thing that is yours. You are a baker and are what you are, not by a miracle, but by the work of your arms. Baker, be who you are." Hearing the singing, a princess looked out the window. She saw Roland Pide and fell in love with him. But she was a princess, and he a baker. The king would never consent to their marriage. So they decided to run away together. They fled at night in a boat. They were already on the high seas when Roland remembered the busker. He said to his beloved, "We must fetch the old man, since he shared his alms with me. We can't go off and leave him like that." At that very moment, the old man came up behind the boat, walking on the water as though it had been dry land. Reaching the boat, he said, "We agreed to divide everything we had, and I shared everything I own. Now you have the king's daughter, and must give half of her to me." At this, he gave Roland Pide a knife to cut his bride in two. Roland Pide took the knife with a trembling hand. "You are right," he said. "You are perfectly right." He was on the point of cutting his bride in two, when suddenly the old man stopped. "Stop! I knew you were a just man. I am the dead man, mind you, whom you covered with stones. Go now, and may the two of you always be happy." At this, the old man walked away on the waves. The boat came to an island rich in all good things, with a princely palace awaiting the newlyweds.
I don't speak that language, unfortunately.
Thanks for your comments, though.
I'm not sure what language you're. It looks Salamin Alekukam Koloi Giasin Gradas. Sorry, I'm butchering your language. Okusuna. Oh, Turkey. Okay. Okusana. Aminim.
I don't speak Turkish. So I'd love to visit Turkey.
Vancouver.
British Columbia, Canada. I'd love to go to Turkey because I want to try simit. It's like a Turkish bagel, right? You know better than I would. I want to try simit. Simit. Send me some simit from Turkey. I want to go to Istanbul and I want to go to Istanbul and learn how to make simit. And then I'll come back to Canada and I'll start making simit. Simit.
Cafe Oh man, that's a difficult language. Okusana Aminim.
I'll have to translate it later.
Oh, okay.
I wish I had a better. I wish I could learn languages easier. I have a hard time learning other languages, though. I've been trying to learn Spanish, but it's only coming along slowly. I think it's one of those things you have to practice a lot, or start early in life doing. But
Oh, I see. Good luck.
good luck to you as well. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if chat's the best way to learn a new language. Maybe. Oh, thanks for watching though. Oh, the coffee store is open. The coffee shack. I should order coffee. The Turks are tea drinkers, aren't they? I've learned, I think that's a fairly fair generalization to make, I think. My first thought was he lied on every word, that hoary cripple with malicious eye, askance to watch the working of his lie on mine, and though scarce able to afford suppression of the glebe, it pursed and scored its edge at one more victim gained thereby. What else should he be set for with his staff? What saved waylay with his lies and snare? All travelers who might find him posted there, and asked the road. I guessed what skull-like laugh would break, what crutch can write my epitaph or pastime in the dusty thoroughfare. If at his counts I should turn aside into ominous track with all agree hides the dark tower, yet acquiescingly at a turn is he pointed, neither pride nor hope rekindling at the end descried, so much as gladness some end might be. For what with my whole world wide wondering, what with my search drawn out through years, my hope dwindled into a ghost not fit to cope with that obstreperous joy success would bring. I hardly tried now to rebuke the spring my heart made, finding failure in its scope. As a sick man very near to death seems dead indeed, and feels begin and end the tears, and takes the farewell of each friend, and hears one bid the other go, draw breath freely outside, since all is over, he saith, the blow fallen no grieving can amend. While some discusseth near other graves be room enough for this, or when a day suits best for carrying the corpse away, with care about banners, scarfs, and staves. And still the man hears all and all he craves, he may not shame such tender love and stay. Thus I had for so long suffered in this quest, heard failure prophesied so oft being writ, so many times among the band a wit. The knights who to dark towers search addressed their steps, that just failed fate seemed best, and all doubt was now, should I be fit? So quiet as despair I turned from him, that hateful cripple out of his highway into the path he pointed, all the day being a dreary one at best, and dim was settling into its close, yet shot one grim red leer to see the plain catch its For mark, no sooner was I fairly found, pledged to the plain after a pace or two, than pausing to throw backward the last few, over the safe road 'twas gone, gray plain all round, nothing but plain to the horizon's bound. I must go on, naught else remains to do. So on I went. I think I never saw such starved, ignoble nature. Nothing throve, for flowers as well expect a cedar grove. But chortle and spurge, according to their law, might propagate their kind with none to awe. You'd think a bird being a treasure trove. No penury, inertness, and grimace, in some strange sort were the land's portion. See or close your eyes, said nature peevishly. If nothing skills, I can't help my case. 'Tis thus judgment's fire must cure this place. Calcine its claws and set my prisoners free. If there pushed any ragged thistle stalk above its mates, its head was chopped. The bents were jealous else. What weighed the holes and rents in the dock's harsh forest leaves, bruised as he walked all hope of greenness. 'Tis a brute must walk, passionate life out the brute's intents. As for the grass, it grew as scarce as hair in leprosy. Thin, dry blades pricked the mud which underneath was kneaded up with blood. One stiff, blind horse, his every bone stared, stood stupefied however he came there, thrust out past service from the devil's stud. Alive, he might be dead for aught I know, with red, gaunt, and callop neck astrain, and shut eyes beneath the rusty mane. Seldom went such grotesqueness with such woe. I never saw a brute I hated so. He must have been wicked to deserve such pain. I shut my eyes and turned them on my heart. As a man calls for wine before he fights, I asked one draught of earlier, happier sights. Ere filling and hope to play the part, think first, fight afterwards, a soldier's art. One taste of old times sets all to rights. Not it! I fancied Cuthbert's reddening face beneath its garniture of curly gold. Dear fellow, till I almost felt him fold. An arm and mind fixed me to that place, that way he used. Alas, one night's disgrace, I went my heart through fire and left it cold. Giles then, the soul of honor, there he stands, frank as 10 years ago when knighted first. An honest man should dare, he said he could durst. Good, but the scene shifts, fall what hangman's hand pinned to his breast of parchment. His own band reads it, poor traitor spit upon and cursed. Better this present than past like that, back therefore to my darkening path. No soundless sight as far as the eye can strain. Will the night send a howl or a bat, I asked, when something on the dismal flat came to arrest my thoughts and change their train. A sudden little river crossed my path, as unexpected as a serpent came, no tides congenial to the glooms. This as it frothed by might have been a bath for the fiend's worn hoof, to see the wrath of the black eddies be spat in flakes and spoons. So petty yet so spiteful, all along no scrubby alders kneeled over it, drenched willows flung them headlong in a fit of despair, a suicidal throng. The river which had done them all the wrong, whatever that was, rolled by. Which while I forded, good saints, how I feared to set my foot upon a dead man's cheek. Each step or field a spear I thrust to seek for hollows tangled in his hair or beard. It may have been a water rat I speared, but ugh, it sounded like a baby's shriek. Glad was I to reach the other bank, now for a better country. Vain presage, who were the strugglers? What war did they wage? Whose savage trample could thus pad the dank soil to a plash? Toads in a poisoned tank, or wild cats in a red-hot cage? The fight must so have seemed in that foul cirque. We'll pen them there with all the plain to choose. No footsteps leading to that horrid muse. No. The horrid muse. Oh my God.